What is up, guys? Silver Warrior here, and today I wanted to discuss 5 lies that you were taught while silver stacking. And remember, before I even say this, you're gonna do this video, you have to remember that you might not necessarily actually believe these lies. You could very well know that they're not true, but a lot of beginners, I feel like, do fall into these traps. So if you already feel like you know everything about silver stacking and you're just gonna dislike the video no matter what, then just go away. I mean, don't come here just to say, "Oh yeah, I already know that stuff." Like, this is supposed to help people learn, okay? It's really not supposed to be like a contest or anything, because chances are somebody's learning from the video. So just let people do that. And yeah, I mean, if you're here just to just see what's up, then that's cool too. But anyway, let me get into this. Lie number one. There are people who know everything about silver. This is not. This could not be further from the truth. There is nobody out there, I can promise you, who knows everything about silver stacking. Okay, there's people who make you believe that. There are people who believe that they're such experts that they can predict exactly what the price is going to be, and that they can basically say, yeah, the price is going to be exactly this, and I'm always going to be right. No, nobody really knows everything about silver stacking, okay? No one can always predict the price. No one can always get the best deals. I mean, some people are luckier than others, and some people are certainly more intelligent than others. But at the end of the day, everybody's human, right? So even if you were a billionaire and you thought you had total control over the market, while you might be able to manipulate it, you don't have complete control. Do you think that the manipulators wanted silver to break $20 an ounce and sit at above $20 an ounce? No, they're trying to keep it below that price. So nobody can really truly know everything about silver. No one can truly control silver either. So, I know a lot of those people out there will try to make you basically believe that everything they say, to take it like it's absolutely true. And a lot of the time it's either opinion or just facts that they're, maybe skewing, just like the government might. Or maybe it's just, their thoughts on it, might be accurate. They might be based on fact, but it doesn't make it necessarily true, and it certainly doesn't mean that you have to believe it. Now obviously, there are certain things that are going to be true, what I mean? Like generic bullion has a lower premium than, peace dollars. I mean, that's obvious, that's a grounded fact, but a lot of the stuff really is just opinions instead of facts. So don't let anybody tell you that they know everything about silver, because they really don't. Nobody really does in the community. And, the people in this community are great because they can actually admit that. But I'm talking about the people who do have a larger following, who make people believe that they know everything, and that's where they get that following from, because people are basically following them. These people are sheep herders. And I don't want you to ever become dependent on somebody. I certainly want you guys to be dependent on me or anybody else in the community, because you shouldn't have to be. You should be able to go out and learn for yourself. That's the best way to be getting into silver, as opposed to being completely reliant on somebody else. Now, number two is that silver is always going to go up. Now, a lot of people like to portray this one, even in our own community. A lot of people are like, in the next few years, silver is guaranteed to go up. And I certainly think that it's more likely that it's going to go up than down. It's not a guarantee, okay? Silver is not always going to be going up. It can go down even when you don't think it's going to. You think 2 years ago, back in April of 2014, everyone thought the price was going to shoot down? No, nobody did. Everyone thought the price would keep on going up. Everyone was like, the price is plateauing out. Now it's a good time to buy at $22.50 an ounce when silver is going to shoot up. And it didn't. It still hasn't seen those prices again. I always mention that, but it's always true. It still remains true to this day, and it still certainly remains as a good example of what I'm trying to discuss here. What I'm trying to convey to you guys. Silver is not always going to go up. It does go down as well, and it does bubble, and it does dip. I mean, it's it's, I guess you could say, it is a commodity, and it does act like a commodity as well. It shows with the fact that it goes up and down very rapidly. It can move fast and it can move slow, which is kind of another lie that's been portrayed about the price. It can move quickly. It's not always going to be the same thing. Prices can move up very quickly, much faster than the stock market even moves, if it wants to. So you do have to remember, though, that silver, it's not, always a safe investment for you. That's what you have to, that's why you have to make sure that you know what you're doing. Now, number three is that fractional generic bullion is going to be your best bet for an economic collapse. And this one's just ridiculous. In an economic collapse situation, along with all of this stuff, which everybody kind of agrees upon would be good to have, your fractional stuff is going to have such a high premium. It would be the equivalent of taking this Canadian maple leaf and, spending it like in regular ounce of silver. I would never want to do that. This thing is worth well above what a regular ounce of silver is. So, why would I pay? That's the equivalent of how much you're going to be paying for those. You're going to be paying the same type of premium on fractional stuff. Or at least fractional bullion, I should say. So that's why you should jump to fractional constitutional, which another lie that's been kind of conveyed among it is that nobody's going to recognize junk silver, which I don't believe is true. I think that, that's going to become kind of a universally accepted thing if people are using silver as a new form of currency. I do believe that people would realize, there'd be people in the community who already were silver investors that were like, yeah, this stuff is 90% silver. And people would establish that as currency just like they did before, because look, in 1964 and before, people used that as currency, and they would be able to figure it out later on, especially if they were relying on silver as currency, that the stuff had 90% silver. I mean, it was common knowledge in 1964, and it could become common knowledge again. Trust me on that. Now, number 4 is you should only stack one type of silver, and that's just ridiculous, okay? Oh my god. Alright, so people are always talking about diversification, right? Like diversifying the stock market, diversifying into this, diversifying into that. Well, you don't need any of that if you just diversify your silver stack, which I've talked about 1 billion times before, but again, it's relevant, so I'll bring it up. I'll try to be brief here. Silver, generic bullion and junk silver, great for a silver price bubble or an economic collapse. High premium stuff, high premium bullion, as well as high premium constitutional, great for a silver price collapse. They're going to both be, you're basically going to be able to benefit in any situation, not just, break even, but actually profit in every situation by diversifying your stack, having all different types of silver and having in between too. I have some Philharmonics that I'd say carry a little bit of a premium on them, but not such a ridiculous premium that I'd categorize them as anything, really. So, they're kind of in between. But anyway, the 5th and final thing I want to discuss is silver is a surefire thing. You can't lose any money. So I guess this kind of does sound like, the one where I was saying how silver prices can't go down. But that was more talking about how volatile the market can be. This is just talking about how you can't, people saying that you can never lose money in silver, or that you always get your what you pay back out of it plus more. And that's ridiculous. Okay, again, I'll use the April of 2014 example. By then, you bought then, you're screwed now. Simple, right? Be very blunt with it and very fast. So, obviously, if you did buy then you still have not seen your money back on silver. I mean, that's basically it. All to say about it. You're not guaranteed anything when silver investing, and that's probably the greater lie that's been taught here. Is that silver is really not a guarantee. You have to realize that you're taking a gamble every time you're buying silver. Maybe it's much better odds than the casino, but it still is a gamble, and you have to remember that. That is just my thoughts on it. Let me know yours in the comment sections below, and that is it for this video. Peace, love, and much respect.